Do not forget, you can support the channel with a like, and you can also subscribe to be aware of the latest published videos. Thank you. We hope that here you can find the latest news, ideas, and discoveries from the scientific world.
The silent Japanese forest where every breath sounds like a roar. Every year, 100 people enter and don't emerge alive. Aokigahara Forest has a long history of darkness. Long ago, it was said to be haunted by yūrei, Japanese ghosts. Today, it continues to have an ominous air. Situated at the foot of Japan's highest mountain peak, Mount Fuji, the forest sprawls for 30 square kilometers. With such dense coverage, the forest is always plunged into semi-darkness, pierced only occasionally by a shard of sunlight filtering through a gap in the treetops. But what most visitors remember most about Aokigahara Forest is the intense silence. With the forest floor made up of the cooled lava from Mount Fuji's huge 864 eruption, the hard and porous volcanic rock is filled with holes into which all noise seeps. As a result, visitors explain that in the silence, every breath sounds like a roar. The eerie atmosphere of the forest is tinged with morbid myths. One such legend dates back to feudal times, when it is said that in times when food was scarce, dependent elderly female relatives were taken to a remote location such as Aokigahara Forest, where they would be left to die. The custom, named yubasud, is one disputed by scholars who claim that senicide has never been common in Japanese culture. But still, visitors claim to see ghosts in the forest, who they believe to be the vengeful spirits of the elderly who had been left out of sight to starve. But by the mid-20th century, there was something else emerging that was indisputably true. People were going to the forest with the intention of dying there. Aokigahara Forest became known as the Suicide Forest. To this day, it continues to be the resting place of as many as 100 suicide victims a year. The forest's reputation and popularity as a suicide spot grew further in 1960 when Seicho Matsumoto published a novel called Yūrei Jukai, in which the story's lovers commit suicide in Aokigahara Forest. By the early 1970s, constant searches were underway by police officers, journalists, and volunteers. It was rare for them to leave the forest without a body. The peak came in 2004 when 108 bodies were recovered. This number accounted only for the bodies that were found, with others believed to have disappeared beneath tree roots or carried away by animals. Aokigahara soon built a reputation for being the most popular suicide spot in the world, beaten only by the Golden Gate Bridge. At the entrance to the forest, warning signs read, "Please reconsider and think carefully about your children, your family." Patrols wander throughout the forest in an attempt to gently find those entering the forest with no intention of leaving alive, or to try and save those they discover, if it isn't too late. For a number of years now, the Japanese government has stopped releasing statistics for both suicides and suicide attempts in the forest, through concern that the totals were encouraging others to choose the area in which to end their life. The reality of Aokigahara is often inescapable to visitors attending the forest as tourists. Those who stray from the well-beaten path have encountered various human belongings such as clothing, shoes, briefcases, and even suicide notes. Other times they have found worse,